Alrighty, y'all. Welcome back to BlenderSith. Yep. We're getting ready to get into April. A lot of new stuff coming in April. One of the biggest things is just tutorials to help people from the Blender Bros Discord. That's where I mainly hang out. If anyone is wanting to ask questions or get a hold of me that's from YouTube and doesn't know where to find me. I'll have a link in the description below to join the Discord server at Blender Bros. That's basically if you're interested in BoxCutter and HardOps, then that's the place to go. They got all the tutorials and everything that you need to get you started and learning Blender. They even got some regular vanilla Blender from default Blender and stuff. A couple of courses that you can start out on that gets you started with that pretty much everyone's doing right now anyway. But there's certain things that people have a lot of trouble with, and not just beginners, pretty much everybody that's getting started in this. And I'm going to jump into one of them right now that's just started happening about an hour or so ago, and that is Inset in BoxCutter. This can get pretty in-depth. There's kind of like an advanced feature to it for debugging Inset, but that, I'll show you where it's at, but that's not for you guys to get in now. That's just showing you, how complicated Inset can get at times, depending on what you're modeling. So without further ado, oh, and by the way, this is on there might be some skipping and stuff on my system, some, jagging or whatever you want from, I'm moving my mouse and the computer's not keeping up. I am not on my powerhouse system. I'm not on my cloud computer. This is my research and development computer on my home computer, which is an old computer. It doesn't even have a GPU, but this is what I experiment and come up with new ideas and new models and other stuff, and a lot of developing, a lot of working with Blender code, and a lot of working with Blender add-on codes and stuff, changing stuff, adding stuff, and all that stuff. But anyway, that's a different story. So I don't really have all of my add-ons that I normally have on my production machine, which is, like I said, in the cloud. What I do have here, though, is I got BoxCutter Fluent and RanTools. That's my hard service stuff. Materials, I got only runtime materials and Materializer, and all these other ones. That's an animation add-on, so is that. Asset library, machine, mesh machine, PowerBackup, PowerSave, and that's about it. So not really a whole lot. If you look at the end panel, it looks like a lot, but I just showed you that it's really not a lot. Let's jump into BoxCutter and get into this inset. We'll throw a cube out here real quick. Now, first of all, the debug, you can get into that in the preferences here and go to BoxCutter. Down here at the bottom you can see debug. Let me pull that up in case you can't. Down here at the bottom you can see debug, and if you got a complicated mesh, with a lot of different booleans in it and everything, and then you want to inset the whole area or stuff, that could run into problems. You'll have a lot of booleans over here, in your stack and everything, and that's what's causing it, because of the way BoxCutter works, or Inset works actually. It's going to solidify them and and everything, and all that stuff is getting in the way of it. So what the debug allows you to do basically is just disable all of those, and then do your inset and everything, get it to where you want, and it's actually, you could say it's a boolean also, but with a solidify on top of it. But now let's just get back to some regular simple BoxCutter here. We're gonna go ahead, put our cut in, and from here, there's various ways you can do this. Well, actually, probably 2 or 3 different ways, but if you pay attention to your shortcuts down at the bottom, they're all the same. They all do the same thing. I can press T and go into my solidify, and you know, if I want it small, if I want it big, you can't go past it because it's just going to reverse. But you know, you can get this, you know, where you want it basically. And now you're out of box. Now this is going to allow you, you know, to go different ways, you know, like this. And see, I could have done this when I was at the beginning, and I'll show you that right now. Let me go back. We'll start it again. I'll go down. We'll jump into the inset. Now, instead of doing what I did last time, I'm just going to stop right here and just press O. And see, that allows me to go up, come down. I can, you know, do a little peephole here like a sniper, you know, box or something like that. We can, you know, stay up there. I can press E, and we can shift it around, you know, move it around like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and commit that, and this over here, I can shift, click that box. Now we can move this, you know, and we can, you know, start developing more. I could do that. I can do it to this side. I can do it to that one and move it out. We can keep this inset and start forming a shape here on the top of this box that would take, you know, it would take a long time if we were to try to do it manually, and we might not get it. But once you're in this mode with all your handles in there, you know, and here, like I said, this is what I was doing with the other one. You know, once you're in this mode, when you go the route where I pressed O and E and everything, this allows you, you know, to rough out a shape, you know, like normal, box out of shape now. And now that we can go in here and, you know, we can do bevels, and a lot of, I mean, you know, move it around, expand it out, you know, and this just takes practicing. That's all this takes, guys. I know a lot of you don't practice, you know, because you don't bring anything up. You don't show anything near to stuff like this, so that tells me you're just using the regular box cutter and cutting a box, and you're not exploring everything that the tool can do. And, you know, that's where you're, you know, putting yourself short. And like I said, we have a debug, you know, mode that you can get into. But as a beginner, you know, it's hard to debug something, you know, when you don't even know what you're debugging. You know, it's kind of, you know, it's a catch-22. You know, you don't know enough yet to know what's wrong. So you don't know what you're debugging. I mean, I could go a little further, but, you know, I don't want to overload you guys. This was to show you, you know, the inset and the hitting the T to solidify. Well, that was the thing. I mean, there was one of the people in there. He's having a problem, and this happens a lot with all the tutorials. People follow a tutorial exactly. What happens on their machine is not what happens on the tutorial. And you're doing the exact same thing that the person says to do on the tutorial. You think sometimes. There's sometimes that a person swears he was doing the exact same thing, and after about an hour or two, he comes back on and posts, "Oh, you know what? I screwed up. You know, I thought I was doing the exact, but I missed one thing that I didn't catch, and it's working now." And so, as people that help you guys, there's no way we can help you on that. We know how the program is supposed to work because it works for us. And so, you know, if we say, you know, click here, pull this, drag this down, and, you know, right click, and you'll have a cut there. And if you do that and the cut's not there, then, you know, we really don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't know. I could do this 100 times and it's going to do the same thing 100 times. If yours ain't doing it, you might have an add-on problem. You got something clashing with your computer, something on your computer that's interfering with Blender. I mean, it could be a lot of things. You need to troubleshoot. You need to know computers. You know, like a gamer. You got to be a gamer. There's two things that good, you know, top gamers can do. They can play games like it's no one's business. They know their machines and their rigs inside and out. And if you can't do both, then you're not going to be a good gamer. The first thing you got to learn, just like in getting into Blender here, the first thing you got to learn is basic 3D. Verts, edges, and faces, and how they all work. Just like a gamer has to learn hardware. He needs to learn his motherboard, RAM, GPU, all this, graphics card and all that stuff, all the stuff he's going to need to play games, how it works, how to fix it. A lot of them usually build their own computers, and that's how they learn all that stuff. And then once you got all that stuff down, then you can start learning your games and build, because you're going to have problems when you start installing games and start playing and stuff. Just like in Blender, you're going to have issues. There's going to be things that don't work. The game doesn't work right. This doesn't work inside the game. It works for everybody else, but it doesn't work for me. I don't know what's going on. Welcome to the jungle. This is technology. It's all about solving problems. I know I've ranted too much already, but with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this short video. And yet, for me, this is short. Trust me. Look at some of my videos. Anyway, let me know in the comments or hit me up in the Discord if you guys want to see something else or having a problem with something. And I'm not even going to bother you. I'm not even going to answer you if you have a simple question. If I can take your problem and Google it, and it's one of the first 3 answers, then you're not worth my time. Plain and simple. You're just lazy. That's all there's. Because you didn't even have enough energy to Google it and see it for yourself. In the time that it took you to ask me the question and for me to find out that it's listed on Google, you could have had the problem fixed already. That's the time that you're wasting. If you have a serious problem, then let me know, and we'll do a tutorial on it. And that way everybody else can learn something new also. So, with that, I'll see you guys in the Discord. And keep blendering. Don't stop now.